Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kala Ghoda Festival. I have with us Shilpa Rao and Anvitaa Dutt. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies, because this session is very special. It's Pink Conversations to support the cause of Just Look Hospital's cancer awareness. The idea to get two strong, wonderful, amazing, powerful women is to inspire more and more women to do the right thing in their careers and in their personal life. Without any further ado, we are going to take you through 22 questions on this show. The questions will appear on the screen and you shall answer. Are you ready?
Ready.
Yes. Hi, I'm Anvitaa Dutt. Identify myself with just myself.
Identify yourself. Well, it's a struggle every single day because uh, yeah, it's I ask myself this question every single day. Anvita?
So my dad was in the Air Force, so I grew up all over India, small town India, all across from Assam to Kashmir to Tamil Nadu to Rajasthan, all over India. But mostly I grew up in libraries. I think the actual growing up I did in libraries.
I grew up in Jamshedpur. It's so-called a small town, but quite cutting edge in terms of people because the only thing that they could brag about was intellect and how good their children are in academics. So that was a great currency in which people spoke in, and yeah, I mean mostly I used to spend time climbing trees. That's yeah, I used to love doing that. So yeah, that's how I grew up.
My kind of girl. Shilpa.
Tell us your professional high point in the year 2020. The professional high point of 2020 was that I finally am saying that I started living with a man who I have idolized all my life, and I'm sure many of my like-minded friends do. This is Mehdi Asad Saab, so I've been living with him for the entire year 2020, listening to him, learning from him, and yeah, just understanding how he thinks. Yeah, so that's my high point of 2020.
For me, my first film as director released in the year 2020, Bulbul. And I think personally, professionally, whatever you might call it, to be able to tell your story and for it to reach out and touch people, that was the dream and it came true in 2020. So that's quite amazing. Shilpa?
I think I think everything I've done has gotten me here. I mean, all the things that I've done right, mostly the things that I've done wrong, uh, because frankly speaking, success teaches you nothing. Uh, yeah, when you get into trouble, when you make decisions that most of the decisions that I've made wrong are when you undermine your own self and you feel that something is more important at the moment compared to what you are and what your big picture vision of yourself is. So sometimes you sell yourself short, and I think those are the things that have gotten me here in whatever way I am. It's not getting there, but how also because you need to understand yourself. You need to value yourself more than that there's a cost and value of everything. So where do you see yourself? You see it cost wise or you see it value wise? So that's what has gotten me here, I think. Yeah.
So, I'm Going to be 49. I'm 48. And I read my first book when my first storybook when I was 5, which had Baba Yaga, a witch in it. And I think so. I would say it's taken me 43 years to get here because reading changed my life. Stories changed my life as stories do. And in a strange sort of a way, like Carl Jung said, that you are not what has happened to you, but what you choose to become. I think it's both, because everything that has happened to me, every story that I've read, every experience that I've lived, every person that I've met, to a point I got to know myself and accepted myself, and that's what has gotten me here. The fact that I know who I am.
How many films have you worked on before this point?
Shilpa, you go, I'm counting.
How many? I don't know how many films, but I remember our first meeting, Anvita and me. It was my first song with Vishal, Shekhar, and Siddharth, and Anvita was
My first
there. And I remember she was wearing this white shirt with blue flowers on it, and she had this choti on the side, and like she was this chiller, which she still is, and yeah, I remember that so vividly. Yeah, that was, and I freaked after hearing Khuda Jane because I thought I couldn't sing it because it's a difficult song, and that was the last I would see of them. But then life was kind. They were very kind. They were very very patient, and they just let me do my thing. Uh, I I will say that I wasn't completely deserving of everything that they gave me, but yeah, they really showed me a lot of love that day. So yeah.
You totally deserve it. For me, yeah, even I remember the first time I saw Shilpa, this very quiet, very shy young girl walks into the studio, trying to merge into the sofa, into the wall. Like, I'm not even here, was the signal that she was sending. And then she stood behind the mic. And we were all like, oh my God, what is this voice? And from this little quiet girl, this voice comes out. And we were just so blown away. And for me, it was really special because this was the first time I'd also just turned lyricist, and still delighted with the fact that, oh, I know how to write a song. That's so cool. And then this girl comes and sings it and makes it so special. And yeah, so that song's always been special. So I don't know, I don't think even I can count the amount of films that I've done or amount of songs that I've written. I think I'll only count the one that I've made. So one. The thing is, you can only hope. You can't expect. But the fact that Bulbul will get the reception that it did, I was just telling my story, and many wonderful people came together. They said yes. They said yes to the script, starting from my producers, Clean Slate, to Netflix, to every HOD who came on board, to all the actors, to the ADs, everybody who said yes. All I wanted was that they should feel that they did the right thing, that they showed faith in me. I wanted their faith to be rewarded. That is all that I wanted. That is all that I wanted from Bulbul. Uh, and I wanted to change myself and, you know, maybe one more person in the world, and that's all. Just the way they think, the way they feel. Maybe everybody doesn't have to do the growing up that we all did. So that's all. But when it came, the love came. Oh my God, I was just, that was a bonus. I Everything that came over and above this was a gift. It was a gift, and everyone who's worked on the film knows that that gift is for them. It's for them.
Filmfare Award. Yeah, okay. It's actually quite. I'll be very honest. I was there for my first Filmfare Award 2009. It was Khuda Jane, and I remember so nicely that हम तीन दोस्त हम तैयार होके चले गए थे अमित त्रिवेदी Shruti Pathak and myself, all three of us were nominated, and we sitting हाथ ऐसे पकड़ कर की and none of us won. I I won't say that it feels bad that yeah you didn't win, but then there's a bigger learning that comes around it that you need to not forget that person who first started doing this and what was the reason. I came to Bombay to sing. I wanted to be part of good music, and as long as I'm doing that, that's all great. So now, even if I win the award, next day I get back to work. Even if I don't, I still get back to work. So I think it's all you. I mean, don't let things around you fluctuate you. It's all okay as long as you can do what you do. I think we are the lucky ones who are doing things that we love. Not many people can say that. So I think it's a great place to be. Yeah.
This is my favorite question. This is my favorite question.
ये कोई question भी नहीं है. This is not a question.
Answer दो. तुम जमशेदपुर से हो. You're supposed to show that you're good at what you do. Answer दो.
I'm
Give
from
answer to question.
Jamshedpur, Swadesh.
You have to give right answer. Come on.
I will give right answer. ये कुछ भी. Okay.
Just take a few lines. Just sing
Okay.
whatever you feel like, whichever part.
छोड़ के सारे शर्म और लाज मैं से जोर से नाची आज के घुंघरू टूट गए के घुंघरू टूट गए ओ
Woohoo! My God. No answer is it's so amazing.
Dude, huh. One sec, I'll just shut this window. One second.
I'll answer this. Till then, yes. Yes. Gender has nothing to do with intellect or your talent. You are just an artist. You are just a writer. You're just a lyricist. You're just a director. But it gets added, I think, because the numbers are few, so attention is drawn to it. The fact what your gender is, because the men are never called male directors or male singers or male artists. So it's a journey we are going to hopefully change this bit first, because it's reductive to put our gender before our craft. Hopefully it will change. I mean, when film started, when talkies started, one of the earliest composers, there were two women composing for the industry, Saraswati Devi and Jaddin Bai. The biggest producer at that point in time was a woman, Devika Rani. Bombay Talkies, which launched Dilip Kumar, Raj Kapoor, Madhubala. She was a woman. So hopefully, we will normalize this anomaly. That's my answer, Shilpa.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. There's absolutely nothing that. Uh, I think it would be nicer to just introduce someone by their names. There's no need to add a prefix like yeah, who's coming on stage? Anvitaa Dutt. Gupta. That's all you have to say. Shilpa Rao or I think we're all very self-sufficient in the names that we are. I don't think you need anything else to explain that further. Anvita, Shilpa, I think we'll be fine. Yeah, yeah. There's no need. And yeah, we don't need that consideration कि हाँ हम female हैं तो उसको आप उसमें female part चाहिए उसमें या female हमारी आवाज़ सुनो. No, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. Give me the job if I'm good at it. Don't don't give me the job because you're trying to be nice or trying to make place for us. No, 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 no. Just give me the job, and if I don't do my job well, you might as well remove everything that I've sung. Please, please, feel free to do that. Yeah.
You know, see, it's like I'm from Punjab and I'm from small town India. So there are certain things that I will know about being Punjabi or middle class or from being from small town India that maybe say somebody from Bombay doesn't know. Maharashtrian or a Gujarati from Gujarat or Maharashtrian will not know what it is to be Punjabi from small town India, middle class person. I think being a woman informs your story like that, your storytelling like that. There is something that you know which the other might not know. But having said that, look at the poster behind me. That's Bimal Roy. He's a man, and it's such sensitive storytelling. You look at Tagore's stories about women, the way he captured his female characters of that time, their helplessness, the sensitivity with which he handled it. Satyajit Ray. Look at these men who told women's stories. Look at Gulzar Saab's writing in Bandhani, which launched him as a lyricist. That's what is called female gaze. That's right there. This beautifully told stories and songs by men. So you just have to be sensitive. You don't have to be a woman or a man to tell a story well. That's your first job, and it might be a woman's story and you'll do it equally well. Yes, I might know a thing or two more about my inner world, which maybe somebody in front, maybe another woman might not know what my inner world is like. So maybe a man will not know that. But other than that, no.
Hmm. Yeah. I feel that to be able to, for example, even if it's not a story and it is just someone talking about me to someone else when I'm not there in the room, that narrative of what I'm going through, it has to be said with empathy. If that person doesn't have empathy, I don't think, no matter how qualified that person is, they would tell a story well. It all depends on how, like, we know it very well post the crisis which is going on, that there is no such thing as uh, education is leaning towards culture, and all those spoken well enough. Urban people have absolutely no idea how, ground reality functions. So all I'm saying is that if someone can have that empathy to narrate someone's story without actually going through it, that I think is emotional intelligence. And sorry, so that is emotional intelligence, and someone who has emotional intelligence can tell a good story. It doesn't matter whether they are a male or a female. No. Speaking of gays, so many gazes. I love Begum Akhtar ji. I love Farida Khanum. I love Prabhat Ray ji. There is these are these are these are women. Who have done unthinkable stuff back in the day when, those things we can't even think of these times. Iqbal Banu sitting at the Chauraha for the emergency by Ziaul Haq and singing Hum Dekhenge. Yeah, sitting in a sari and doing that. I mean, मतलब, होता है ना, you don't have to dress up like a rock star. वो गलत वो गलत आइडिया है लोगों को अभी कि you have to wear a leather jacket to show you're a rock star, and then you know the biggest rock stars of of this generation and the previous century were dressed in saris, and they have done some revolutionary stuff, which no uh, leather jacketed person has ever done. No, they have done some really wild stuff, like really amazing. I think I wish I could be 1% as cool as them. I really wish. Yeah, so those artists.
Anvita?
Um, oh my God, so many. Ursula Le Guin, Kelly Link, Naomi Novik, Daphne du Maurier, Jane Eyre. It's the Bronte sisters. There's so many women out there who have been telling stories that just blow you away. I mean, Ursula, like Shilpa said, rock star. Le Guin, is a bona fide rock star. She's the bloody mother of science fiction and fantasy. It's amazing, amazing women. Female gaze, and that female gaze belongs even to people like Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman, uh, just male writers, Stephen King. They have female gaze, which is just extremely sensitive. And I mentioned Tagore before, and Satyajit Ray and Bimal Roy. So yeah, female gaze. There's so much. I mean, I can spend a day and a half just talking about that. So never. Maybe I'm fortunate, but never. As a writer and as a lyricist, you always get hired for what you can do for the story. They don't hire you because of your biology, like I said. They hire you because you wield the pen a certain way. You can put a thought across a certain way. You can write a dialogue a certain way. You can write a song a certain way. So I never experienced that. And I know that if there were struggles that I had, my contemporaries, whether it's Amitabh, Swanand, Varun, or whether it's writers like Sudeep Sharma or directors, they've all faced the same struggle and the same difficulty. The tough part is the blank piece of paper. Nothing else was tough, but maybe I'm just fortunate.
You're far
Shilpa?
from fortunate. You own it, please. So yeah, she does. She's yeah. I mean, uh, with music, obviously, the recent times there have been lesser and lesser female oriented songs, and the female voice isn't as heard of as it was. I think when we started off with Khuda Jane, those times were amazing, where lots of duets and lots of solo albums were also there. I miss that. I miss that now. But then, wahi hai ki even if it's four lines in a song, I make it worth it, make it even more bombastic than uh, it could be. So yeah, you have uh, one pedestal, but you make it higher. So yeah, that's about it. And with that,
My first break. Actually, my first break was that who had never been to Bombay before, had decided when I was 15. There was a teacher of mine called Mrs. Raghubir, and she told me when I was in the 11th standard that I don't know if you know this, but you're a writer. And she told me that I want you to do, what do you want to be? She asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, a chef. And she was very confused because she was like, no, no, wrong profession. So then she told me that, you should think of becoming a writer and work towards it. And I think my first break was that someone like Mrs. Raghubi took the time out to talk to me about what she thought was my calling, which even I wasn't aware of. She said, I look forward to your answers because they are stories, they are not answers. And I think that was my first break because it planted that seed. And the fact that I became aware that actually I'd been writing since I was about 6, 7 years old, but I thought everybody did that. And she made me aware that everybody doesn't do that. And my focus shifted towards, oh, this is a possibility. She spoke to me that there are different professions that you can get into to earn your rent and then focus on becoming a writer. So the she recommended advertising. She says, I don't think you're too gentle to be a journalist, so maybe you can get into advertising, earn money, and then become a writer. She maybe thought I'll become an author, but I said I want to write for films. So I did that. I came to Bombay. I joined advertising. I was there for, my plan was to do it for a year or so and become very rich in those 2 years. So obviously no sense of reality. And but I was in advertising for almost 15 years. And when I was about 35, 36 years old, I shifted to films. So I did do what Mrs. Raghubir and I talked about when I was 15. I just did it many years later. I did about 20 years later.
Similar story. Hariharanji had, I met him when I was 13 and he said, you should sing. Before that, I was just climbing trees. I wasn't doing anything with, I actually did not want to do anything in my life, which now when I look back seems like a very good childhood because um a lot of kids don't have that now. They just are so focused, they want to get somewhere, they want to do something, and they forget enjoying life, which is the most precious time of your life, your childhood. So once he put that kida in my head that you need to become a vocalist and work at it. So yeah, then everything changed, and and yeah, I felt that I would get my first song and it would be great and life would be easy, and then another song and another song, and it doesn't work like that. You have to work every single day, and now I know that this is too much fun in life. If it were easy, it won't be that great, and it won't be thrilling. So I love this. I love this that I get up every single day. I don't know what the day is going to be like. I make plans, it just doesn't happen, and something else emerges. But for that something else to work out, you need to be really, you know, ready for it to take it head on. So keep your prep on, no matter what happens. Even if you're going to work or not, you should be uh, ready in terms of doing your riyas, keeping your health right, keeping your voice right. I mean, these are some basics, but then there is no one break that will change your life. There's no one incident that will change your life, not one award, not one project. You can change your life every single day. So just focusing on that. Yeah.
Very few people have heard that song. It was for Queen. Everybody knows London to Magda, but there's a song hidden in there in that album called Kinare. Um, it's very
Mohan,
simple, uh, and
it's a very good
it is
song.
sung by Mohan, composed by Amit Trivedi, and it's possibly my favorite song because I think in that song I was talking to myself. So which I think is the best kind of writing, most honest kind of writing. But the fun stuff that I've done, there's so much. I've had so much fun writing everything with Trivedi, the songs that I did for Filori, Khuda Jane, because it's magical. You do it. You think you know nothing about songwriting, but so Aditya Chopra had asked me to write dummy lyrics, and I had to ask him what dummy lyrics are. Then he explained it to me because I'd done the dialogues of the film. He said, "Till the lyricist gets locked, write dummy lyrics." And I wrote dummy lyrics, and he called me. He said, "These are not dummy lyrics; these are lyrics. So you're a lyricist." And he had announced it, and I became a lyricist. So yeah. So although everything is magical, yeah. Shilpa.
Shilpa?
Favorite lyrics that you have sung? So, एक टाइप होते हैं लोगों के कि जिसमें ना आप when you lose you don't like feel hatash that much. It becomes like this one zone of people that Anvita knows what I'm talking about. That you're not in a fear of losing anything. That there are some people who it doesn't like you don't get psyched about it. So there is one line in Gulal which I had sung. It's one of very very special projects of my life, and उसमें एक लाइन था, खोने की जिद में ये क्यों भूलते हो कि पाना भी होता है. So I think that's sometimes like a lot of people are very like हाँ ठीक है कुछ और हो जाएगा you know and losing things doesn't make you that afraid in life. I think I think I need that fear back. I need to do something, get off my lazy ass and do things sometimes. So yeah, I should do that.
A film that impacted my creative process. I think so. Like I said earlier, I read more than I watch. Um, Books kind of they exercise my imagination muscle, and I think most of what I was thinking of in terms of the way I wrote the story, or the way I was seeing the shot taking or the production design, came from my love for art and my love for stories, and the fact that I like to imagine. So I imagine things. I could not derive so much from, like, I could not give references. I was very bad when somebody would ask me for what's the reference for this, and I would never have an answer. But I think if I had to say that, is there a film that blows me away every time? And there's a film that I sometimes pause in, you know while it's on. I'll suddenly pause it just so that I can clap, and I guess if a stranger was to see it, would say this person is insane, because I'm sitting by myself and pausing bits and going, very good, well done, is actually Bandini.
Okay. Name an album that changed the way you approached singing. I won't say it was an album. It was a voice that changed my approach in life, and that's the voice of Mehdi Hasan Saab, because I remember I was about 10 or 11 when I heard him, because my dad is very strict about the music that we grew up with. Only pure classical music or ghazal or thumri that was allowed at home. So apart from classical music, my initial uh, that switch to semi-classical or light classical music was ghazal, which was Mehdi Hasan Saab, and that voice somehow changed how I looked at music and poetry and I mean 10 and 10 11 आप आपको वो एक्सपीरियंस जो लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस नहीं होती है जो आप गज़ल को समझते हो, बट वो एक लगता है कि नहीं, there's this cozy tent that you have where you can go into, and you don't need anybody. It becomes everything for you. It becomes almost a friend and a person to you, and that's what ghazals became for me. So now when I hear them, they mean so many different things for me. But then Uh, I think that has been the first love of my life, when I didn't even know about love, and ghazals and the way Mehdi Saab used to talk about a ghazal before singing it, or talk about music, or that rag per se. It that completely was a game changer for me, or yeah, it just changed me. Yeah.
Many. And when I say many, I don't mean the casual hanging out friends. I mean, I have tribes. I have found tribes that I never did because I was an introverted child and did not make friends easily because I was mostly in libraries when kids were playing outside, or I was up a tree with a book. So it took me many, many years, and I actually find my tribes here. So one collective that I have, or as Kurt Vonnegut called it, Karas, that I have is these bunch of lyricists. You know, lots of people get a little taken aback because they think that we would be competition, but we actually the closest friends. So there's Kausar, Varun, Amitabh, Swanand, and I. Uh, and Trivedi is an honorary member, even though he's not a lyricist. He's a member of this group. We are there for each other, regardless of what the other person is going through, whether it's personal emotion or a creative crisis, or just stuck on a line or a word, or a difficult director or producer who's not approving a song, and we don't know what to do with it, and we don't know how to navigate that, and we just help each other. Then I have a bunch of friends who, they're way younger than me, but they are my producers, and they believed in Bulbul with this unshakable faith. They believe in me, and they spoil me and they treat me like I'm their younger sister, though I am 14 years older than them. And that's Karnesh, Anshay, Anushka, all of them. Then I have my team that made Bulbul for me. They're my friends. They are my family. They help me tell a story. So yes, I have friends in the industry. I have. And writers Sudeep, Navdeep, Vikramaditya Motwani, Abhishek Chaube, Devashish Makhija, Akshat Verma. I mean, when you're stuck sitting in front of the blank page and thinking that you do not know how to write and now you will be found out, these are the friends you call. And sometimes they will tell you, no, you don't know how to write because this is nonsense. But you do need people who tell you that as well. So yes, I have friends. I have people like Shilpa who come quietly from somewhere and sing your songs and make you believe in magic and make you believe that you can, it's possible for you to do something which you didn't think was possible. Vishal Shekhar, her Trivedi. I mean, oh my God, what a long answer. That's because I have friends in the industry, yes.
Well, I have friends in the industry, and we don't talk about work at all. Uh, so yeah, I mean, Shruti Pathak is one friend who has a similar love for ghazals, and sometimes our conversations are with those lines. Like कभी कभार कुछ ज़्यादा कहने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती है, आप वो एक रेफरेंस से आप समझ जाते हो कि हाँ what's happening. So Shruti is one such person who's my travel buddy. We've traveled the globe together, and yeah, she's somebody who's really close to me. Apart from yeah, the female singers are very connected. We chat a lot of times, and we have this common love for food. So we don't talk about work, but yeah, it's great to just talk about food, or just generally. Yeah, I think food is the biggest conversation of our lives.
I
I
agree.
think it has consumed 200% of our time. उसमें से जो थोड़ा टाइम मिल जाता है हम अपना काम करते हैं, but apart from that it's just about food.
Shilpa?
Younger women. I will say that uh, just work on yourself, and you know it. Don't let someone tell you otherwise, because there are many people around you who say, okay, you wear this, you will look taller. You do this, you will be something else, and ये करो उससे ज़्यादा better हो जाएगा. But between all the marketing and production and high risers and then AC offices and everything, at the end of the day, they want someone to say a story. That's where you come in, and nobody can do your job. So just be yourself and do your job. That's it.
That's great advice, Shilpa. That's really great advice. Yeah, I would say because I believe it very strongly. I would say read. Whether you are an actor or a writer or a director or a singer, read
Chef.
poetry, read stories, or a chef, read, because you learn how stories work. You learn how to communicate an emotion when you read poetry, when you read stories. It informs you on how it is to engage someone, hook someone with something beautiful and interesting and surprising, and teach them how to be brave and noble and kind. And so, read makes you a better person and helps you get empathy. The other thing that I would say is just be kind. Be kind, be nice, because टैलेंट बहुत लोगों में होता है और मेहनत सब करते हैं. But if you're a good person, if you try to be a good person, if you're kind and if you have empathy, your life will be the richer for it. And that is more important than anything you will ever write or sing or make. Just being good and present for the world. That's all.
हाँ, हमको क्या लेना है सबसे, तुमसे ही सब बातें अब से, बन गए हो तुम मेरी दुआ. खुदा जाने के मैं फिदा हूँ, खुदा जाने मैं मिट गया, खुदा जाने ये क्यों हुआ है कि बन गए हो तुम मेरे खुदा. Anvita, you wrote it
I
so
really think
beautifully.
so. I think this song belongs to you and Vishal Shekhar. It really, what you guys have done, the melody and your voice is just, and KK, I mean, you guys, you make this song a
बट
gift.
बट बट होता है ना कि लव सॉन्ग को एक और कितने तरीके से लिख सकता है, बट यू रोट इट इन सच अ फ्रेश अप्रोच. सो या, कम ऑन यार, इट्स
हाँ, उस
अनविता.
पे बड़ी मेहनत है.
यस.
Okay, I'll go first since I'm older. What I what I admire about Shilpa is the fact that the girl that I met, that young girl who came and sang खुदा जाने, और आज की शिल्पा में एक्चुअली ज्यादा कुछ फर्क नहीं है. वो लड़की अंदर से वही है. She let nothing change that. Nothing change her love for what she did. But what she did was, what I admire is the thing that she changed was that she came into her own. उसने अपने आप से मुलाकात की and she owned herself up. you know. She just stepped away from that sofa that she was trying to disappear into. She came into the phone and recognized herself for who she is, but inherent जो उसकी प्योरिटी और जो वो innocence थी वो आज भी है, which I think is so special about her.
Anvita, I think, yeah, she's the same. I've known her in 2007, and now it's the same. She's the same person. But the point is, we don't meet that often. Probably कहीं पर कभी मिल गए, but that warmth that she has, and I don't know, in some way we're talking, and it's sometimes just how you are, and pleasantries and all of that. But then there's this lesson bomb that she drops on me, and it really uh, it really means a lot. Coming from another person who you love and admire, and there's this one way of life that she has, which my father also has, and I resonate with that. That nothing is more expensive than your peace of mind. So whatever it takes, just pay the price for it. Your peace of mind is the most important, and that's one thing she had taught me. She said to me once. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Your own company. If you're not happy with your own company, you will never be happy anywhere. So please invest in yourself. Uh, yeah, I mean, arts, what do you call it? Uh, they inspire more arts. ऐसा नहीं है कि हाँ, if I listen to more music, I will be inspired to do more music. Sometimes uh, uh, food or architecture or poetry or even a fabric of a sari can really inspire you to sing something. So keep your minds open and invest in yourself. Please make yourself a great company for your own self so that you can spend time with yourself. I think then you're fine. Then life is great.
That's great advice. I'll just add to that because what she said is one of the things that even I believe in. Is that जो भी कर रहे हो ना, मतलब if you are धनिया छांट रहे हो या कॉफी पी रहे हो या प्याज को भून रहे हो या say again lots of food, or you're sitting and watching Rishikesh Mukherjee's Chupke Chupke, whatever you're doing in that moment, or even if you're wearing a sari or opening your cupboard and looking at आज क्या पहनूं, and you run your hand through your saris and you can see the play of colors, you can feel the different fabrics. In that moment, do only that. और कुछ उस वक़्त ज़रूरी नहीं है। सिर्फ़ धनिया ज़रूरी है या प्याज़ या साड़ी या चुपके-चुपके या जो तुम्हारे सामने बैठ के तुम्हें कुछ बता रहा है या तुम्हें हँसा रहा है या रुला रहा है। जस्ट बी देयर। और यू नो ऋषिकेश में कुछ गोलमाल का गाना है ना, आने वाला कल जाने वाला है। हो सके तो इस पे ज़िंदगी बिता दो पल जो ये जाने वाला है। दिस इज़ इट। यही है, यहीं रुक के वही उस कहानी पे ध्यान दो, वो पेपर जिसके सामने बैठे हो उस पे ध्यान दो, उस काम पे ध्यान दो जो तुम कर रहे हो बड़ी शिद्दत के साथ। वही चीज़ है उस वक़्त। दैट इज़ द थिंग। दोज़ आर द लिटिल आइलैंड सेफ प्लेसेस यू मेक फॉर योरसेल्फ। एंड व्हेन यू डू दैट, can you imagine string of those dhania book sari? Oh, dhoop is so pretty. I like it on my face. All those little things means that your entire day is wonderful. It's made of tiny little. Don't wait for जब ये हो जाएगा तो मैं खुश
Yeah.
हो जाऊंगी।
No.
जो अभी अभी मेरे साथ My mind is a very entertaining place, so I don't really need anything or anyone to make me happy in that moment. It's just this. Yeah, acha hai. I like the way this collar is, and that makes just that much is good enough. Don't wait for the big things.
Would you encourage viewers to get more aware? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, uh, like many people ask me, like when you're singing, what are the tips that you would give, and what is good for your voice and what you should not have. I always say that it is your body. You need to chalk out your things to do and things not to do. Nobody knows your body better than you. What you're feeling, even when you go to a doctor, they ask you what is the pain, where is it coming from, what kind of pain it is. Only you can express that to the doctor. So please take that time every day to see whether you're okay or not. Your mental health, your physical health. I mean, if you have to go to the doctor today, please don't postpone that. Please go. Uh, Find a friendly doctor who can not just treat you but also make you laugh. Most of the doctors have that about them. So find a doctor who can think for you. It's very nice to have a doctor with some sort of levity and humor. Uh, yeah, just your health is the biggest uh, what do you call it? I 2 years back I had this thyroiditis infection which rendered me to a point that I felt I could not sing because I was coughing all the time. And I was sitting in my room like kya karu? And I told my mom that maybe I won't be able to sing. And she says, that's okay. Even if you can't sing, that doesn't mean you can't live. You have to live your life. You're more than that. So being healthy is very important. So uh, that sort of gave me a different perspective. Uh, Health is the biggest uh, asset that anyone can have. Mental health, your physical health. If you're healthy, you can do anything. So be strong physically and mentally, be happy. I think that is everything that you need. So just take care of your health. That's something that I would say to everybody. Yeah, it's really important. Yeah.
Yeah, you are actually if but we keep talking about wavelength. इसके साथ वेवलेंथ मैच करती है, इसके साथ वाइब है. The one person that we forget is ourselves. So if we are in touch with ourselves mentally, emotionally, physically, chances are a we will remain healthy and happy. But even then, if anything is not right, you will be able to sense it. So be in tune with yourself, be aware of what is going on, and your body actually starts sending you red flags way before anything goes seriously wrong. So when you see that first red flag, respond, save yourself, because बाकी लोगों को तुम बाद में बचाना, और ये मत वेट करना लाइक अ डिज्नी हीरोइन की कोई आके बचाएगा. पहले खुद का ख्याल रखो, बाकी सब ठीक हो जाएगा. सो यू जस्ट हैव टू बी अवेयर ऑफ हाउ यू आर, गो, एंड इफ there's any red flag, immediately go, make that move and go and test yourself. Don't wait for someone else to do it for you.
Thank you, Rohini, for हाँ यार हम अन्विता नहीं मिलते यार. Thanks for like this was such a good
I know.
conversation. Yeah.
We hung out and it was so nice. And actually
Yeah.
ज़्यादा फ़र्क नहीं था हमारी, जो हम मिलके भी कुछ ऐसी बातें होती है हमारी. So it was like hanging out with Shilpa again. So thank you, Rohini, for actually to do this and calling me. I'm really fortunate. Out of the blue, you messaged me, and I'm so delighted that it was for this. And great questions, great आंसर शिल्पा कितनी बड़ी हो गई है